The last rays of a dying sun cast long shadows across the barren landscape of Earth. Hyun-Ki Park stood motionless, his eyes fixed on the massive ark ship that would carry humanity's final hope. The world around him was a broken testament to centuries of environmental destruction, resource depletion, and global conflict. 17 massive ships waited in orbital docks, each a floating city designed to carry the last remnants of human civilization. The United Global Council had spent decades preparing for this moment, the greatest migration in human history. No longer could Earth sustain life as it once had. Climate disasters, nuclear tensions, and ecological collapse had reduced the planet to a nearly uninhabitable shell. Hyun-Ki's hands moved carefully across the holographic control panel. At 42, he was the youngest captain ever selected to lead a human ark ship. His background in planetary engineering and strategic navigation made him the perfect choice for the USS Horizon, the lead vessel in humanity's exodus. Around him, thousands of workers made final preparations. Cryosleep chambers lined the massive interior of the ship, each containing a carefully selected human. Scientists, engineers, doctors, farmers, and children who represented humanity's last genetic diversity. Every person had been chosen through a rigorous global selection process that considered not just individual skills, but potential contribution to a new human civilization. Yoon-ji Kim, the ship's primary navigator, worked nearby. Her fingers danced across complex star charts, calculating potential routes through the unknown regions of space. She had spent years studying astronomical data, mapping potential habitable zones that might offer humanity a new home. The ship's chief engineer, Jae-Sung Lee, walked through the massive engine rooms. Fusion reactors hummed with incredible power, capable of sustaining the ship's systems for decades. These were not ordinary engines, but the most advanced propulsion systems humanity had ever created. They could bend space-time, navigate through potentially dangerous cosmic regions, and provide sustainable energy for the entire journey. Outside, the remaining population of Earth watched in a mixture of hope and despair. Billions had been left behind, unable to secure a place on the ark ships. Those selected were humanity's best chance, a carefully curated group representing the most adaptable, intelligent, and resilient individuals from every corner of the planet. Hyun-Ki remembered the final global council meeting. The decision to leave had not been easy. Decades of debates, scientific research, and desperate attempts to save the planet had led to this moment. Earth was no longer a home. It was a dying memory they would carry with them among the stars. The ship's computer system began the final launch sequence. Automated systems checked and rechecked every possible parameter. Life support, navigation, cryo-sleep chambers, emergency protocols. Everything had to be perfect. One small mistake could doom the entire mission. Yoon-ji approached Hyun-Ki, her face a mix of excitement and tension. "All systems are green," she reported. "We're ready for departure." Hyun-Ki nodded, pressing his hand against the main control interface. A holographic image of Earth appeared. A blue-green planet now more brown than blue, scarred by decades of human activity. This was not a moment of triumph, but of survival. The first group of colonists began entering their cryo-sleep chambers. Each person underwent a final medical scan, their entire life's data and genetic information stored in the ship's massive quantum computers. They would sleep for decades, maybe even centuries, until a suitable planet could be found. Children were the most precious cargo. Young bodies, untouched by the environmental destruction of the previous generations, represented humanity's true hope. They would be the first to walk on new worlds, to build new societies from the lessons of Earth's failures. As the launch countdown began, Hyun-Ki thought about the incredible journey ahead. They were not just traveling through space. They were carrying the entire history of human civilization in a massive metal ark. Every language, every piece of scientific knowledge, every cultural tradition was preserved in the ship's databanks. The engines roared to life. Massive electromagnetic fields surrounded the ship, protecting it from cosmic radiation and potential debris. With a sudden burst of incredible power, the USS Horizon began its journey. leaving behind a dying planet and moving towards an uncertain future. Deep in the vast darkness of space, the USS Horizon encountered something unexpected. The ship's sensors first detected a strange energy signature, unlike anything in human records. Hyun-Ki Park watched the holographic displays with growing tension, his hands gripping the command console tightly. Yoon-ji Kim's voice broke the silence. "Captain, we're being scanned by an unknown technology." Her fingers moved quickly across the control panel, trying to understand the incoming signals. The ship's advanced computer systems worked overtime, attempting to decode the mysterious communication. Suddenly, massive alien vessels appeared around them. They were not like anything humans had imagined, sleek, almost organic structures that seemed to shift and change even as they watched. These were the ships of the Celestial Confederation, a network of advanced alien civilizations that controlled this region of space. A communication signal burst through their systems. It was not a voice, but a complex series of mathematical and visual patterns. The ship's translation algorithms worked frantically to make sense of the message. When the meaning became clear, Hyun-Ki felt a chill run down his spine. The aliens were giving them an ultimatum. Humans were not welcome in this part of the galaxy. They had one choice: turn back or be destroyed. The message was cold, precise, and left no room for negotiation. Jae-Sung Lee approached the command deck. "The ship's defensive systems are ready," he reported. But they both knew that human technology, advanced as it was, would be no match for these alien vessels. Their survival depended on something else, something more complex than simple military might. Hyun-Ki made a decision. Instead of preparing for conflict, he would attempt communication. He instructed Yoon-ji to compile a comprehensive data package, not a military response, but a presentation of human history, culture, and potential. The package included everything: scientific discoveries, artistic achievements, moments of human compassion, and their current desperate situation, images of Earth's beauty and destruction, stories of human survival, mathematical proofs, musical compositions, genetic diversity records. Hours passed. The alien ships remained motionless, watching, scanning, analyzing. Then something unexpected happened. The alien communication changed. The mathematical patterns became more complex, more interested. They were studying the information with an intensity that suggested more than simple military assessment. Hyun-Ki realized they were being tested, not just as a potential threat, but as a potential something else. The aliens were trying to understand humanity in a way no human military would have conceived. Yoon-ji discovered something fascinating in the communication patterns. The aliens seemed particularly interested in human creativity, the ability to solve problems in unexpected ways. They analyzed human artistic expressions, scientific innovations, and complex social structures with what seemed like genuine curiosity. The ship's life support system suddenly received a strange signal. It was an invitation, not to battle, but to some form of interaction. The alien vessels began to create a complex geometric formation around the USS Horizon, creating what looked like a controlled communication corridor. Jae-Sung detected multiple technology transfer attempts. The aliens were probing their systems, not to destroy, but to understand. Each probe was carefully constructed, almost like a scientific experiment designed to test human technological capabilities. Hyun-Ki understood they were at a critical moment. One wrong move could mean destruction. One right move could mean survival, or something even more significant. The fate of 500,000 sleeping humans rested on his next decision. The alien signals intensified. Mathematical equations danced across the ship's displays. Complex geometric shapes transformed and shifted. It was clear this was no ordinary first contact. This was a comprehensive evaluation of humanity's potential. As tension built on the command deck, Hyun-Ki made a subtle gesture, not of aggression, not of submission, but of potential communication. The ship's systems adjusted, creating a response that was uniquely human, unpredictable, creative, and full of unexpected possibilities. The universe waited. Humanity's first true test among the stars was beginning. The alien challenge arrived with mathematical precision. 3 complex trials would determine humanity's fate in this part of the galaxy. Hyun-Kee Park understood immediately that these were not simple tests, but comprehensive examinations of human potential. The first challenge appeared as a massive radiation storm. Most species would be destroyed instantly. The alien vessels watched carefully as the USS Horizon approached the dangerous cosmic region. Yoon-Ji Kim's navigation skills would be critically important. Jae-Sung Lee had prepared something extraordinary. The ship's environmental systems were not just protective, they were adaptive. As radiation levels increased, microscopic nanotechnologies in the ship's outer hull began to reconfigure. Quantum-level sensors detected incoming radiation patterns and instantly created molecular shields that could bend and redirect dangerous energy waves. Inside the ship, sleeping colonists remained completely safe. Their cryosleep chambers had been designed with multiple redundant protection systems. Each chamber was essentially a miniature survival pod, capable of protecting human life under extreme conditions. The radiation storm was intense. Cosmic particles moved with incredible speed, capable of destroying most technological systems. But the human ship did something unexpected. Instead of simply blocking the radiation, it began to absorb and convert the energy. Solar panels and advanced collector systems transformed deadly radiation into usable power. When the storm passed, the USS Horizon emerged not just intact, but with increased energy reserves. The alien observation vessels showed clear signs of surprise. No species they had encountered before could adapt so quickly. The second challenge was more complex, a series of quantum computational puzzles that would test technological and cognitive capabilities. The aliens presented mathematical problems that required simultaneous multidimensional thinking. Yoon-Ji connected the ship's main computer with the cryosleep chambers. Instead of using a single computational approach, she created a distributed problem-solving network. Thousands of sleeping human minds, their brain patterns carefully preserved, became part of a massive parallel processing system. The results were stunning. Where alien systems would take linear approaches, the human network found creative, unexpected solutions. They didn't just solve the puzzles, they discovered entirely new mathematical relationships in the process. The third challenge tested biological adaptation. The aliens created a simulated environment with extreme temperature variations, toxic atmospheric conditions, and complex chemical interactions. They wanted to see if humans could survive where other species would quickly perish. Dr. Min-Ho Park, the chief medical officer, had prepared for this possibility. The cryosleep chambers contained advanced genetic modification technologies. As environmental conditions changed, human genetic structures could make rapid micro-adjustments. Cellular repair mechanisms worked faster than any known biological system. Test organisms placed in the environment began to not just survive but evolve. Cellular structures quickly developed protective mechanisms. Metabolic processes adjusted to extract energy from seemingly impossible chemical combinations. The alien observers were no longer just testing, they were becoming fascinated. Hyun-Kee watched the data streams with quiet intensity. Each challenge was revealing something fundamental about human potential. They were not just surviving, they were transforming. The ability to adapt was becoming their greatest strength. Communication signals from the alien vessels changed. The mathematical patterns became more complex, more curious. They were no longer treating humans as a potential threat, but as an intriguing biological and technological phenomenon. Jae-Sung detected something unexpected in the final moments of the test. The alien technologies were not just observing, they were learning from human systems. The adaptive technologies developed by the USS Horizon were creating feedback loops of information exchange. As the final challenge concluded, the ship's systems displayed a remarkable statistic. They had not just passed the tests, they had exceeded every possible expectation. The human vessel had demonstrated capabilities that defied the existing understanding of biological and technological adaptation. Hyun-Ki looked at his team. Yoonji's eyes sparkled with excitement. Jae-sung was already analyzing the technological implications. They had done more than prove humanity's worth. They had shown that human potential was something truly extraordinary. The alien vessels remained silent, but their silence spoke volumes. Humanity had just introduced itself to the universe in the most powerful way possible, through pure, unexpected potential. The alien communication changed after the tests. What began as a potential conflict transformed into something unexpected: curiosity. The Celestial Confederation's primary observation vessel began transmitting complex communication patterns that suggested more than mere scientific interest. Hyun-Ki Park noticed the first signs of potential cooperation. The alien signals contained invitation codes, not weapon signatures but scientific exchange protocols. Yoonji Kim worked tirelessly to decode these intricate messages, her fingers moving rapidly across quantum translation interfaces. A holographic representation appeared on the main display. It wasn't a traditional alien image, but a complex mathematical representation of potential cooperation. The aliens had been watching humans not as a threat, but as a fascinating unknown variable in their galactic understanding. Jae-sung Lee discovered something remarkable. The alien technologies were attempting to integrate with human systems, not forcefully, but through careful, precise communication protocols. Each data exchange revealed layers of technological potential that neither species fully understood. The proposed mission was audacious. The Celestial Confederation wanted a joint exploration of a region known as the Phantom Corridor, a dangerous space sector that had destroyed multiple exploration teams from various alien civilizations. No species had ever successfully navigated its complex spatial anomalies. Humans brought something unique to this potential mission: adaptability. Where other species followed strict scientific protocols, humans were known for creative problem-solving. The aliens had witnessed this during the previous challenges and now wanted to understand it more deeply. Dr. Min-ho Park prepared comprehensive biological integration protocols. The mission would require humans and alien technologies to work in perfect synchronization. Genetic modification systems were adjusted to handle potential environmental challenges. Each human team member would be equipped with advanced survival technologies that could adapt in real time. The first joint meeting was unlike any diplomatic encounter in human history. Instead of traditional verbal communication, it happened through complex mathematical and visual information exchanges. Holographic representations showed potential mission scenarios, with both human and alien technologies contributing unique perspectives. Quantum communication systems created a shared understanding. The aliens were fascinated by human emotional intelligence, something their highly logical systems could not easily comprehend. Humans could make intuitive leaps that defied traditional computational logic. Yoonji discovered that the aliens were particularly interested in human creativity. Their own technological systems were highly regulated, following precise mathematical models. Humans, by contrast, could imagine possibilities that existed beyond established scientific understanding. The mission planning revealed something extraordinary. Human technological adaptations could potentially solve problems that had challenged the Celestial Confederation for centuries. Where alien technologies saw limitations, humans saw opportunities. Jae-sung's engineering team developed hybrid technological systems. These were not purely human or alien, but something entirely new. Adaptive interfaces that could reconfigure themselves based on changing environmental conditions. Communication systems that could translate not just language, but complex emotional and intuitive concepts. Hyun-Ki understood the deeper implications. This was more than a scientific mission. This was a fundamental exchange of potential, a meeting of two completely different approaches to understanding the universe. The sleeping colonists remained unaware, their genetic potential preserved in advanced cryo-sleep chambers. But the mission being planned would determine their future, and potentially the future of multiple galactic civilizations. Communication patterns suggested the mission would be dangerous. The Phantom Corridor was known for destroying exploration teams. Spatial anomalies, extreme radiation conditions, and unpredictable dimensional shifts had defeated multiple advanced civilizations. But humans brought something unique, a combination of technological innovation and pure, unexpected potential. Where other species saw impossible challenges, humans saw opportunities for discovery. As final preparations began, the alien vessels and the USS Horizon moved into a complex formation. Mathematical communication patterns suggested excitement, curiosity, and a shared sense of potential discovery. Hyun-Ki looked at his team. Yoon-ji continued decoding complex alien communication protocols. Jae-sung reviewed hybrid technological systems. Dr. Min-ho checked final biological integration parameters. They were no longer just survivors. They were becoming something more, representatives of human potential in a vast, complex universe. The mission to the Phantom Corridor was about to begin. The Phantom Corridor revealed itself as a nightmare of cosmic complexity. Spatial dimensions twisted like liquid metal, radiation patterns defied known physical laws, and quantum interactions created impossible geometric landscapes. Where other exploration teams had been destroyed, the human-alien joint mission moved forward with unexpected grace. Hyun-Ki Park watched the holographic displays with intense concentration. The hybrid technological systems developed by their engineering team were performing beyond all expectations. Quantum adaptive interfaces responded to environmental changes faster than any known computational system. Yoon-ji Kim's navigation skills became legendary during those first critical hours. She wasn't just guiding the ship, she was essentially dancing with the cosmic environment. Each movement was a complex calculation, each decision a blend of human intuition and advanced technological prediction. Jae-sung Lee monitored the ship's systems. The fusion between human and alien technologies had created something entirely new. Adaptive nanotechnologies could restructure the ship's hull in microseconds, redirecting dangerous radiation, absorbing unexpected energy patterns, and maintaining structural integrity under impossible conditions. Suddenly, something unexpected happened. The Phantom Corridor wasn't just a dangerous space region, it was alive. Not in a biological sense, but as a complex quantum system with its own form of intelligence. The exploration team realized they weren't navigating a region, they were communicating with it. Dr. Min-ho Park made a critical discovery. The spatial anomalies responded to human emotional and cognitive patterns. Where alien technologies saw only mathematical equations, human minds could perceive deeper, more complex interactions. Their very consciousness was becoming a navigation tool. The sleeping colonists began to play an unexpected role. Their preserved genetic potential, their dormant brain patterns, started influencing the ship's interactions with the Phantom Corridor. It was as if thousands of human minds were unconsciously helping to guide the mission. Alien observation teams watched in complete amazement. Humans were doing something no species had ever achieved. They were essentially negotiating with a cosmic environment instead of trying to conquer or survive it. 3 standard galactic days into the mission, they discovered something extraordinary. Hidden within the complex spatial interactions was a network of habitable planetary systems. These weren't just potential colony locations, they were perfect environments for human survival. The first planet they identified was remarkable. Earth-like conditions, but with unique atmospheric compositions that would allow rapid terraforming. Oxygen levels, gravity, mineral resources, everything aligned perfectly with human colonization potential. Yoon-ji's initial scans showed multiple planetary zones. Not just one world, but an entire cluster of potential human settlements. The sleeping colonists would have multiple choices for their new home. Genetic diversity databases could help them select the most suitable locations for different human population groups. Hyun-Ki understood the mission had become more than survival. They were establishing the first truly multi-species collaborative exploration and settlement initiative. The Celestial Confederation was no longer just observing, they were actively participating in human expansion. Communication patterns between human and alien teams transformed. What began as a scientific mission had become a profound cultural exchange. The aliens were learning about human potential, while humans were expanding their understanding of cosmic interactions. The first landing preparations began. Advanced robotic systems would first explore the planetary surfaces. Detailed environmental analyses would be conducted. Genetic modification technologies stood ready to help humans adapt to any minor environmental challenges. Jae-sung's team developed landing modules that could essentially become initial settlement structures. These were not just transportation devices, but complete survival and construction systems. Each module could transform its external structure to match local environmental conditions. Dr. Min-ho prepared comprehensive biological integration protocols. The cryosleep chambers would be carefully managed during the awakening process. Each colonist would be gradually introduced to their new planetary environment, with medical systems ready to handle any potential adaptation challenges. As the first planetary scans came through, something remarkable happened. The planet didn't just support human life, it seemed to welcome them. Complex ecological systems showed incredible adaptability, almost as if the environment was preparing for human arrival. Hyun-ki looked at his team. Yoon-ji was analyzing planetary data. Jae-sung reviewed landing module configurations. Dr. Min-ho checked final biological preparation protocols. They were no longer just survivors. They were pioneers. Humanity had found its new home, not through conquest, but through cooperation, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit of exploration.